Lennox Lewis, a masterclass in heavyweight IQ. Lennox Lewis was a great champion. Arguably, some consider him the best British fighter of all time. I think Lewis is technically a great fighter to watch, and Lennox Lewis was a dominant heavyweight champion that deserves a lot of respect. So let's analyze some of these technical nuances accordingly. So check out this angle attack from Lennox Lewis. So Lennox Lewis is stepping to his right. This provides a different angle, particularly for the right hand. Lewis misses a jab, and Holyfield misses a double jab to the chest. As Lewis keeps turning to his right, Lewis places his left arm down to his knee. He then explodes with a short left hook straight right, and Evander avoids the punches. Lewis then places his head on his front foot. He also has his right hand placed over his front foot. He then throws a short straight right and avoids the left hand counter. Here is the philosophy behind the attack. Stepping to the right creates the angle for the right hand. The short left hook was a deflection for that straight right, and leading on his front foot meant his second straight right had a shorter trajectory. This is intelligent boxing. So in this sequence, Lewis is feinting with the jab. Holyfield is trying to catch the jab with the right hand. Lewis feints low, which brings Evander's hand out of position, and then he shoots a jab. He then feints again with the left and fires a straight right left hook. Evander is in a low position, trying to minimize the punching target. Lewis then tries an overhand right and short left hook. He then tries another overhand right with a left hand deflection. Lewis then changes the levels by jabbing to the body and unleashes a straight right. Evander avoids the punch, but it's a great sequence of punches. Feints, deflection, and sequences are all part of this punching masterclass. So in this sequence, Lewis starts off with a short left hook. He then measures with the left hand to the head and throws a right to the body. So Lewis at this point is varying his punches, head and body. He then throws a measuring jab, straight right to the body, and then a short left hook to the head. This punch variation from Lewis makes it harder for his opponents to block and read. And the body shots, if you notice, are set up intelligently, so they are harder to counter. Lewis then throws a multitude of jab feints. After a sequence of feints, he finally lets a jab go, and then he blocks the counter jab to the body with his right hand. This is intelligent punch creativity, this is controlling range, and the feints make the jab more effective. Check out these offensive attacks from Lennox Lewis. So Lewis starts with a double jab, straight right, and then a step back. The double jab makes Evander bend to the right. This leads to Lewis to throw his right hand to Evander's temple because there is a minimal target presented. The step back avoids Evander's counter left hook. Evander dips under Lewis's pouring jab to throw another left hook, but Lewis does a half step back and makes the left hook miss. As he makes him miss, he's measuring with the left and then throws a straight right at Evander's temple. It's a great counter shot. Measuring with his left, Lewis then throws a short right uppercut to the head, and then he throws a right hook to the body. Evander is minimizing the target with his defense, but Lewis is still finding ways to land his punches. So Lewis is really strategic in his approach here. So Lewis pushes Tyson out of range. It's important to note that range is essential in boxing. Lewis then places his head on his front foot while doing some subtle head movement. Tyson throws a jab to close the range, and Lewis dips to his right and throws a right uppercut straight left, which is followed by a push. The right uppercut is a powerful counterpunch, and the straight left and push neutralize the counter. It also controls the range. Lewis is controlling distance, landing powerful counters, and is nullifying potential counter opportunities. Also, the weight shift on the front foot creates different angles and changes the punch trajectory. Now, Lennox Lewis was a great fighter, arguably the greatest British boxer of all time. I know some would give that to Joe Calzaghe, who is another great fighter. But Lennox Lewis is up there, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And I think you can divide Lennox Lewis's career into two parts. I know this is a narrative bias, but hear me out. The first part was under Pepe Correa, and the second part was under Emmanuel Stewart. Now, under Pepe Correa, he won the WBC title, and he had a tremendous second-round KO over Razor Ruddock. For those that don't know, Razor Ruddock fought Mike Tyson twice, and he was feared at the time. It was a tremendous knockout, a really impressive performance. And he also had a big British fight with Frank Bruno. Now, this was massive in the British ecosystem, not so big in the American ecosystem, but massive in the British ecosystem. And Frank Bruno was loved by the British people. He really was. And this fight had a really good build-up. And to be honest, Frank Bruno had a really good performance in this fight. He had significant moments in this fight, and I believe he was winning this fight until he got stopped, I believe in round 7. But this was a massive fight, and then he defended the WBC title 3 times until he fought Oliver McCall, and he experienced a controversial loss to Oliver McCall in the second round. It was controversial because some alleged that the fight was stopped too early. Interestingly, Emmanuel Stewart was in Oliver McCall's corner at the time. Anyway, Lennox Lewis then had the second part of his career, which was to rebuild under Emmanuel Stewart. And under Emmanuel Stewart, he reclaimed the title by beating Oliver McCall. Unfortunately, Oliver McCall had some mental health issues and was unable to be significant opposition. But the point is that Lewis, he got the title back, and he was able to assert dominance in the heavyweight division. He unified the title against Evander Holyfield, my favorite fighter, and he became a dominant champion. And when I say he became a dominant champion, for reference points, check the David Tua fight. I believe he won like every round in that fight. Check the Michael Grant fight, second round knockout. And then the final reference is the Mike Tyson fight. And he asserted dominance over Mike Tyson. It wasn't a prime Mike Tyson. However, Mike Tyson brings a brand, he brings a resume, and that was a big, big fight. So when we think of Lennox Lewis, what did he bring to the table? Well, he brought so much to the table. He had a great jab. Hardly anyone could deal with that jab. He had high ring IQ, and he had this stoic composure. And it's funny because I think people didn't like that about Lennox Lewis. They felt that he wasn't passionate. But he was passionate, but in his own way, he was stoic. And he had a devastating right hand. He could walk you into the right hand. He was very good at doing that. Now, Lewis would have another defeat to Hasim Rahman. But then in the rematch, he absolutely brutalized Hasim Rahman. An amazing knockout. I think it was in the 4th round. Now, Lennox Lewis was a great talent. He was avoided by a lot of fighters because he was that good. But he realized his potential, in my opinion, under Emmanuel Stewart. Because when you think of Emmanuel Stewart, he's not only a great boxing trainer giving you great strategy, Emmanuel Stewart gives you a great boxing environment. Without Emmanuel Stewart, does Lennox Lewis realize his potential? I'm not too sure. And talking about Lewis's resume, if you check out the knockout against Andrew Golota, that fight, that performance, it was scary. Now, Lewis may not have had the charisma of, say, like a Frank Bruno, who is loved by the British public, but his resume, objectively, his resume was beyond impressive. Now, when we think of Lennox Lewis, you can think of some questions. Did Lewis have the best jab in boxing? He's definitely up there. Was Lewis the smartest heavyweight boxer of all time? He's one of the smartest. And some believe, some, not all, but some believe that Lennox Lewis would have beaten any fighter in any era. They believe he was that good. And when I analyze Lennox Lewis's fights, I see impressive ring IQ, I see great talent, and I see someone who knows their identity. And when you merge a great talent with a great trainer, you are more than likely to have great results. So Lennox Lewis is undeniably a great fighter with a great resume.